Welcome back to Beyond Boundaries Podcast, the podcast where we take people beyond their normal limits, man. Got another special guest with me right now. This is a lifelong friend at this point. You know, we really have we've been kicking it with each other and knowing of each other since about middle school now. And it's just crazy that we're both at this point, again, graduating in 3 years. And we've both just been at the Power 4 level, had some good ball. Zach is currently at Ole Miss, so, he'll be able to talk about, the things at Ole Miss, current, past, present, whatever it is. And I'm just going to give him a chance to introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Zach Johansson. I play football at Ole Miss. Me and Jamie went to high school together. We knew each other throughout just the years of growing up. I play safety. Like he said, I'm graduating in 3 years. Really focused on my future. I have long-term goals that I'm really looking forward to. Football is just something that I love to do and something that I just keep doing until I can't anymore. So just taking what it's given me and catapult to the future, really.
For sure. Now, that's definitely a good little interest or point to get to the next topic, because that's really what the whole scope of this podcast, or at least what I want to get to, is just, shedding more light of life outside of football and everything. But of course, you've had such a crazy journey. We can go back to high school as far as your injury, the transfer, everything. So honestly, man, why don't we just give a little background on kind of your whole journey, your long journey, and how you got to this point at Ole Miss.
All right, so high school recruiting was a little different for me. I played at our school, North Gwinnett. When you're a freshman, you play freshman football, and then you get pulled up at the end if they want you to get pulled up. So I played freshman football, got pulled up, did good then. Sophomore year, I was the backup receiver behind Josh Downs, who is one of the best NFL slot receivers.
Y'all know about
Josh. So I was a younger guy. I knew my role, I knew my spot. I really just tried to learn from him as much as I could. And then going into junior years when COVID happened, and so we started to train during COVID, a little group of us at North Gwinnett, and a freak injury happened just running normal routes, and I tore my ACL, which really just altered everything. I had my junior year taken away. I wasn't optimistic at the time in the position I was in, so I thought the best chance for me was to transfer to Buford. We ended up winning the state championship that year. I didn't play. I helped out on the team as much as I could, film, at practice, did all that just to put a good foot forward, good effort for the next year, my senior year at Buford. So we went into spring ball. I had a good spring ball. I was playing both ways, safety, receiver. Receiver's been what I played my whole life, so that's all I knew. Safety was a little new. I liked Buford. It was awesome there. I liked all the people, all the coaches, but ultimately, I really just wasn't happy there. I wanted to play football, but also have a good senior year. I mean, you're going to remember that for the rest of your life. So I thought the best opportunity for me would be go back to North Gwinnett and play. And I had a good season there. I didn't play receiver, though, so it was new to me. I would switch over to safety for the whole year, learning a new position, just trying to get a feel for everything. And so recruiting kind of took a spiral to where I'm going to all these camps, trying to get my name out there as much as possible, shooting out a bunch of emails, a bunch of texts to coaches, just trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the next year, because I didn't really have any offers at the time. And then my 7-on-7 coach at the time, Glenn Phillips, shout out Glenn Phillips, he got me in touch with Ole Miss, and they offered me a PWO right on the spot. I visited up there. I loved it. It was the SEC. It was the best chance I really had at the time, so I figured I'd just take it and run with it and go to Ole Miss to play football. So that's really how I ended up going to Ole Miss. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. And honestly, like I said, it was just an interesting journey for sure. Very different. And what the crazy part for me is, I was part of that group that you trained with, and then, we trained often and everything. It was just like what seemed like a normal training session just ended up being a huge trajectory to change your life. And I just remember in that moment just thinking wow. And it's just crazy to see how I've loved how well you bounced back from it. And honestly, what you were saying about Buford, and I didn't know that. It was my first time hearing, but I could definitely see you being that person, always trying to put your best foot perfect. Because I do commend you how you've always had a good attitude. You've always tried to stay positive. And Zach is somebody who does love football, and it's just honest, just good to see. So like I said, I want to commend you for all of that. But I love how you were just really explaining how difficult the recruiting process was, because that is something that when you brought it up, and this is something that I hadn't even thought of before the show, but you brought it up, it really just reminded me of how, we were in a similar position, and we go all the way back to middle school, because, we played the GFL FBU team, was dominating through that. We ended up winning the whole ring for that. Those who know about FBU, you know about FBU. Like, it was pretty reputable. And then the following year, freshman All-American, we're thinking all things are going great. We're thinking things are going, amazing. And just, obviously, sophomore year wasn't, we got some traction, but it wasn't so much recruiting. And then following that, you had your ACL injury. And then I never had a major injury, but I was always, I don't know if you remember, I was always dealing with my knees. Yes, man, my knees bothered me so much. So yeah, it's just kind of like, what we were both people who seem to have so much potential, and then just we get to this point where we're seemingly desperately asking coaches, for a chance to play, and just I kind of just wanted to shed more light on how much of a blessing it is, to finally be at this position, like being at Ole Miss, being at Georgia Tech, and just that whole recruiting process, because like I remember being in that recruiting process and just thinking like, what doesn't happen? And it was just it was after COVID, like our situation was just very interesting. The transfer portal was just becoming a thing to where, spots weren't taken up. So just like, do you have any information on that?
Yeah, so one thing I do want to say is it was a very tough time during COVID, but I would say we got the last end of it before the NIL era, which kind of changes the whole perspective, at least in the Ole Miss aspect. It's a big transfer portal program, so the high school recruiting is a little low. And I mean, it's like that at a lot of more schools now, as the transfer portal is really free agency in college football.
Yeah, so seriously.
But going back to what we were talking about, recruiting process. I mean, like I said, yeah, it was very tough just because you go out to these camps, you have good film, and you don't really see results instantly. And I'm not a very patient person, so it got very annoying to me. But I mean, it's just adversity at a very young age that kind of, in the positions I'm in now, it's easier, because to me that was very hard for me. Like it was like I'm not good enough, and that to me, like I don't like hearing that. I mean, I'm sure not a lot of people do, but it really, the mental toughness aspect, like you really build a great mental fortitude going forward.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, just ending up at Ole Miss really ended up being a blessing, because I didn't really know much about Ole Miss going into it. SEC school, that was really what caught my attention, was playing in the SEC and going against the top guys every single day at practice. But I mean, it really turned out to be good. I mean, I had a great time there. I made a lot of really good connections from it so far, and still am. And yeah, I'm just blessed that I was able to have that opportunity to be able to go there.
Yeah, seriously. And that's great to hear. And just when I hear, the more you say, it's just really, it's this recurring theme of just adversity and keep pushing through, adversity, keep pushing through. And it's honestly inspiring. And I just, like, I'm curious, like, where does it come from? Because it just constantly seems like, you had these tough positions and it didn't seem to bother you. So, like, and honestly, like, do you have any advice that you could give to somebody in similar situations? Because it seems like you have like a real strong, faith and like backbone to you.
I would just say that I have just over the years built a lot of self-confidence and just believing in myself. And I mean, it's hard just seeing people in your position kind of get opportunities that maybe you think you should get. And that really just adds fuel to the fire. And when you have like a main purpose goal at the end, like that's only on my mind is the main goal. Like all this other extra stuff, it is what it is. But if I can just keep grinding and keep pushing, and ultimately good things will happen. If you do good by people, I believe you'll get good in return. So really just keeping the main thing. If you have any dreams and aspirations, just don't stop at any toll. Like if there's a speed bump in the road, go fast over the speed bump, get through it, and just keep pushing, because there's always going to be speed bumps throwing you in life.
Literally.
You just got to keep pushing, really.
Seriously. It seems like I've kind of just learned that it's always going to be mountains and valleys and everything. And again, just want to commend you, especially because you're doing it at the program you are, Ole Miss. Everybody knows Ole Miss is a highly respectable program in college football. You know, they got mass attention. Ole Miss is one of those schools that kind of in the front and really just there. And I kind of want to get deeper into that because and it's very impressive. Because y'all are, I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna go back, but I'm gonna talk about the competition. Okay, here we go. So yeah, like I was saying, it's really impressive because you're doing it at a school, so highly competitive, and players always doing it. Like you mentioned, the transfer portal, where it's always kind of a heightened sense of competition because people are always coming in and out and everything. So I just want to talk about and you're in the SEC, and everybody is aware, how much football style is in the SEC and goes on to the next level. So kind of I want to know, and I want to give it to the fan perspective. What is it like as far as that talent level, the competitive level, and to put on top of that, we come from North Gwinnett in Georgia 7A, so we're not, talent is something we're used to, but even then, it's still, I'm sure, a different level. So just kind of go on to that.
Yeah. So when I first got to Ole Miss, I weighed around 178, 175 pounds. So when I first walk into the first team meeting, I'm just looking around and everyone's big, everyone's strong, built, and so I immediately knew I had to change my mindset and put work into the weight room instantly. So I gained, I'm up to 195 now, and I did that probably within 6 to 8 months. So I physically had to get strong enough to be able to compete with these guys because I would just get pushed around, and I'm a competitor. I did not want that to happen, so I just put a lot of emphasis on that. But everyone is good, from the walk-ons to the 5-star players that come. Everyone can ball. It's really just consistency at that point. And we see it throughout a lot of our friends in the past. If you're not consistent, it will kind of all fizzle out. And we see that a lot at Ole Miss too. If there's not a lot of consistency, there will be fizzle outs with people. People will transfer.
Oh, for sure.
And that's where, when we have the transfer portal, we bring in about 30 guys every year, so you're getting new competition from different conferences, different builds of people, different styles of play, and it's just fire on fire every single time I practice. One-on-ones, always competition, always beef. It's always like that. And this is an environment where we all talk crap to each other. Mm-hmm. It's promoted because that just builds competitiveness within the team, and if you can build that competitiveness within the team with getting all these new guys in the transfer portal, it really pushes a strong foot forward going into the season. So I would just say the competition is very heavily there.
And I can only imagine, like you said, all that it makes sense. And with that, you keep mentioning the transfer portal being the thing, because that kind of everybody is aware of that with Ole Miss. Y'all have got a lot of transfers that have a lot of success. But you at this point probably are one of the most long tenured players at the program. When you really think about it, I bet that's what I'm saying. You've been there the whole time, and so you probably could give us one of the most genuine and most exclusive perspectives on just how have you seen the program grow, or if you want to get into how have you seen it fall on, just the things about all the I don't even know, just get into it, and how have things changed, and just what has the program been like in the last 3 years?
I would say every single year it has gotten better, just because the culture that we have, that Coach Kiffin has built, is more of an NFL style, come in, get your work done, get out. We know what it is. Keep the main thing, and that's really kind of just the motto that we have lived by. The culture is really just prided on the players too. It's a player-led team, and as we have seen the years go on, I started in 2022, and now it's 2025, my 4th year. And like I said, every year has gotten better. The transfers have gotten better, and just the overall format of how things need to be run gets relayed easier to these transfers, because we have guys in my class, the 2022 class, that are still there, and I kind of just have instilled how it is here, and people go along with that pretty well. And I mean, we've had a pretty successful season so far. And it's just fun to play there too.
And I'm glad you just said that, because that whole point of the fun. And one thing that I have noticed just from an outside perspective, you see the things on social media where y'all have the dunk contest, or you'll have like the certain fines, or all the type of, there's the things that it gives me this fun vibe that y'all have. Can you just can you dive into more of the enjoyment of it, and just all the stuff that we see on social media and people laugh about and all that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously not every single moment is the fun aspect. We put in a lot of work like every other teams do, but Kiffin has a very good perspective on how to interact with the players and what they like in this new age of kids today, this generation. So just implementing in fall camp, we would have a basketball goal. We saw a basketball goal get brought into the team meeting room for the first time, and everyone's like, what the hell is going on? Not like we're playing football. And then we watched a little film of the practice before, and then Kiffin brought out one of the coaches and another coach, and they did a 1v1. And whoever did the 1v1, the loser side of offense defense had to do bags for that day. Agile bags.
And these coaches.
Yeah, these coaches. And so it got such a good response. People were live streaming it, IG Live, taking videos, posting on Twitter. It gained such good attention, so we just kept it going. Yeah. And then I don't know if this was shown, but throughout fall camp we would do soccer competitions too. So we bring out soccer goals,
really?
And we would have a PK shootout.
Really?
So we'd have coaches versus players, and then one time we had players versus coaches, and it was the last shot, and we hit it, so we got to go home and not have practice that day during fall camp. So it's just stuff like that that just makes it exciting. I don't see stuff like that from other schools too. So that's really like the fun aspect we can attain to that. And also last year we did for our spring game, we did like a Pro Bowl format. So we did like 7-on-7, we did a dunk contest, and we did like a hot dog eating contest, and like a skills challenge. So it's like just different things like that, throwing new ideas out there. Yeah. It's very cool. Kiffin has the motto of don't think outside of the box, create your new box. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of, that
makes sense.
Yeah,
that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, it gets relayed to all the players and stuff too. So that's kind of just the culture that we've built too.
For sure. Any of your players were good at the PKs? Anybody nice at soccer?
The kickers,
okay,
punters.
For sure. For sure.
All the skill positions usually are not. We weren't very good at those. We left to the kickers and punters.
Makes sense. Well, yeah. It seems like you got high praise for Kiffin. It seems like somebody that you respect. And honestly, just from an outside, I've always had good respect for him. He's highly talented, highly successful, honestly. And but with the thing I've always loved, he's kind of had this little charisma and funny piece to him. He's very comedic, and he seems like he's a good time. So honestly, man, I'm just curious to say, do you have any best Kiffin moments or funniest Kiffin moments?
I can't really think of a specific time, because he does funny shit every day. He'll come to the meeting a couple minutes late, and then it'll all get very quiet. It's just the ambiance that he has around him too. He carries that everywhere he goes. Yeah. But funny Kiffin moment, there's so many. The dunk contest is probably the funniest thing that I can think of. Just implementing that into a football team and carrying it around, and we bring the basketball goals to the football games and have dunks after touchdowns and stuff. It's just stuff like that. It's something new every day.
Yeah, man. Honestly, just sounds like a good thing. So before I change subjects and go on to more high school football, I want to hear do you have any final things about Ole Miss, like for this year, future? What should people expect from this year? Give as much information as you want.
Well, this team is very new. We had like 55, 60 new guys on the team, so it's a really new team. So we all got to kind of get familiar with each other. These past 7 weeks working out together have been really good. Everyone's been working their butts off, competing hard in the 7-on-7s and team runs. So that's been really cool to see. Next week we start spring ball, so that'll be really telling. But I think you can expect this what we've done the past couple of years. We're gonna have a high-powered offense. PG is gonna get the defense right like he did last year. It's really just timing at that point. We just gotta rep it out. And we have an influx of talent everywhere, so there'll be plays made on all sides of the ball.
For sure. Well, yeah. So like I said, I did want to transition to high school football a little bit more, just because we talked about the elite level of competition at this level, but something that I always like to try to reiterate and bring up to people is just the talent that we face in high school. And I've said it before on the podcast. It's just a crazy headline, the fact that Travis Hunter and Caleb Downs were in our region, along with Barrett Carter on our team, as far as Caden, all sorts of players that are major names that y'all know that to us it's like we're going against every week and we're playing with. And so to that, you on an extra level, you spent that year at Buford, so you've seen a ton of talent. And honestly, I just want you to kind of reiterate to the fans and just share your perspective on how good Gwinnett's football and how much it impacted you as far as always playing against such good talent even from that age.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone always talks about Texas, California, Florida, Georgia as the big football hotbeds. Georgia really is mainly Gwinnett County. I mean, we had many people that will be drafted just in this draft alone.
Big names in the draft.
But just growing up, just from playing basketball and football, you see these dudes playing basketball and football in the AAU circuit, and then going out on Saturdays and playing GFL. It's crazy because it really does prepare you for that next level from a skills standpoint. Obviously, college is going to get you built-wise, body-wise. But going against, when you go against these guys in GFL and high school and AAU, this is some of the top competition you can get in the country at a high school level. Just being exposed to that at an early age really helped me out where I'm at now at Ole Miss, and I'm sure helped you out playing at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I think it was just a smooth transition where it was we get to these schools and we're used to having to work really hard. We're used to having to compete. We're used to having to it just it's a level of speed. I think the learning curve was a lot smaller for us because, like you mentioned, when you first step onto a college campus, especially at the Power 4 level, you're like, wow, this is a talented group of individuals. But, I think it really did just help us out, coming from Gwinnett, where we're used to individuals and we know that we can compete with them and we've shown it and proven it to ourselves. So like I said, I think it was honestly just a learning curve. And but the thing that you mentioned that I really want to reiterate is the basketball aspect, because that is something that me and Zach also had in common. And that's kind of what it was. It was an extra thing that brought us together and made us friends. We would play GBL together. That turned to middle school ball, and then we both kind of faded off in high school, but we didn't fade off because we would do rec leagues, play team sports together, all types of basketball. So Zach is definitely somebody. We're going to talk some basketball here in a second, but just talk about your basketball career, your passion for basketball. Man.
Yeah, I mean, basketball is I love playing basketball. Basketball is my first love. I didn't really start playing football until I was in 6th, 7th grade, and focused on it really in 8th grade when I knew I could do something with it. But basketball always has been my first passion. It's just very fun to me, running up and down the court, shooting threes, just the team aspect.
It's like the creative, having a chance to be creative.
Exactly. And you play so many games too, so you get a lot more repetition. I feel and a lot more moving.
Even practice, instead of just drill work, it would be more scrimmage work and things like that. And so I definitely get it. Man, I wish we had tapes on the team sports primes, bro.
I was doing work to you.
Whoa. Let's not say it. Let's not get ridiculous. But
we were doing work to everyone else when we were.
Nah, seriously, when me and Zach would team up, man, that's
21-0 every time.
Bro, I'm thinking about bringing the tournament back, bro. I'm thinking about bringing the 3v3 tournament back, bro.
That was fun, bro. We ran it at Edinburgh.
Yes, man.
That was fun.
Hey, y'all comment if y'all want to be there, bro. $10 entry fee. We gonna get right, man. But we can definitely do something like that at GPP. But yeah, them runs got serious. And bro, we were a little duo. We had the IQ, but anyways, man, the NBA is crazy right now, bro. And that just talking about basketball reminded me of that, bro. We got LeBron, we got Luka on the Lakers. We probably got the craziest MVP match I've seen since watching basketball. Honestly, 2 players just both having tremendous cases. Before the injury, we were having the best sophomore campaign ever. Just putting up a ton of stuff from Wembanyama. It's just honestly so much, man, that we can really get into. So honestly, I'm just opening the floor. What you got to say about this year's NBA season, man?
I mean, I'm just very excited for this next month pretty much going forward, just figuring out where all these teams are going to end up and how we can start game planning for these playoff matchups, because the West is going to be a gauntlet.
Oh, seriously.
1 through 8, I mean, teams can really make a push right there, and make a push to the finals. I mean, everyone's beating each other. Thunder, obviously, an outlier right now. Cavs are an outlier in the East. But you know, every time it gets to the playoff time, April, May, anyone can beat anyone.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you see crazy things. I mean, it's the best players in the world. You just got to get hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm. So, are you believers in like a team like the Cavs or teams like?
I'm a Lakers fan.
Okay.
I'm a LeBron fan, so I mean, I'm gonna choose his team. But I mean, whatever team he's on, I follow the team. So I'm deep in with the Lakers right now. I'm ecstatic with the Luka move.
Okay.
Couldn't be happier about
Even
that.
after the Celtics game?
It is what it is. It's one game.
Okay. But like are we buying teams like Cleveland, New York as real contenders, man?
I'm definitely buying Cleveland as a contender,
Especially with the DeAndre Hunter
yeah,
move, man. We're both Hawks fans.
Hurts my heart, but
It's crazy. We're actually going to a Hawks game tonight, and we've been sticking it through the Hawks program just needs some more accountability, I think, bro.
1 year they get the #1 pick and draft that.
That hurts.
Little
bro.
down draft.
And like the thing is, that's the thing. I'm not even mad at Reese Shea, but it's like, cause who could we have got? Like, if you think about it,
To me, it's just the aspect that we get the #1 pick in a year where there's not a guy.
it just has. It has to be like we went from Wemby to Cooper Flag and skipped us.
Yeah.
And the year before that, it was Zion, Cade Cunningham, and we just happened. Like
Anthony Edwards would have been great to get him in the lineup.
It's not like Reese Shea is a bad player, but like first pick, like honestly, man. But
I'm excited to see what he can do in the future, but just from a buzz standpoint, going into the year,
seriously.
wasn't the most exciting, but time will tell. We'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna give him a chance for sure. But the Hunter trade to the first team in the East. That is an interesting one for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting one for sure. But that's just the East. I mean, you gotta respect Boston, but we gotta talk about this West. First of all, I'm curious because I don't even know who is your MVP right now.
You're gonna hate this answer, but I'm going Shea.
I'm not mad at it. See, here's what people don't realize. I was just as much of a Shea fan as I was Jokic. It's just like Jokic was going so much crazy, and then all of a sudden Shea starts to look to like both tremendous ball players. And he's the first seed on a stack where it's like they're 52, 53 wins in this West. It's crazy. And then you see this game, but I think it was a back-to-back. The Nuggets and the Thunder a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the last game he dropped 40, 20-point win. Like that's MVP ball, and it's but like everybody knows. I mean, he was Jokic's guy because at the end of the day, he's averaging like almost a 30-point triple-double. Like you have to admit he's averaging.
Can't deny that.
And it's top three in points, rebound, and assists. It could be the first time ever. Just had a 30, 20, and 20 game. Like it's wild statistic. Like I don't know because like they're both putting up such an interesting case, bro.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for the committee. I mean, it's a two-man race, as we know.
For sure.
But I mean, these next couple games are really gonna tell. We'll kind of see who kind of wants it more. We'll see who played who in these last couple games.
I mean, like I said, it's a rematch today, so like,
yeah.
I think just the Jokic. I know I've been watching Nuggets a while. I think Jokic comes and has a tremendous, massive game today. And next thing you know, we're looking at, okay, Jokic might be favored, and it's huge because, like you said, it's clearly a two-man race, and either one has a great argument. Either one's like really, especially more on Jokic's end, statistically has a historic season. But when you look at like how much the Thunder are winning, like Shea's having a huge impact on the winning and all that. So
one more thing too is like you can compare them a lot, but you can also make a lot of differences just because one's a point guard, one's a center, height difference. Yeah. But they both bring up the ball. They both are looking to pass the ball to, create for other players. Yeah. But they have that dog in them. They know when they need to score.
At the end of the game, we know whose hand the ball is in, man. At the end of the game, but so we think Thunder for sure contenders.
Yeah, I think the Thunder are contenders. I don't think they will make the finals, but I think they can make the West Finals.
Why don't you tell the fans your next year's Thunder prediction, man? Because I'm behind that. I can see it really being a thing. Talk about the
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So I had this little idea the other day. I was texting Jamin, and I don't know if I saw something on Twitter, TikTok, but then it was something where Kevin Durant ended up back with the Thunder. And I just think that would be a storybook finish. Like,
here's the thing that people aren't realizing: it's very possible.
Very possible. He wants out. He wants to go play for a contender, get on a team where he can get another ring, not get one of those Warriors rings, I guess.
Mm-hmm. This might be another Warriors ring. Let's be honest; they're really good.
I mean, they're really good. They're really good. I mean, all these teams are good.
It's like
all these teams are good.
The NBA has seriously got to a point where you almost have to be on a super team. You have to be like the Nuggets. The Nuggets are an anomaly because they were like they're mainly draft focused team, but they're all really good. Like their whole starting five are all really good players. But other than that, like you look at Boston, you look at Milwaukee, you look at the other super team, like they're like even adding Cat to the Knicks, when the Knicks were already the first or second seed, and you add them a huge piece. So like it's almost to a point where you have to get a super team. We have Luka and LeBron on the same team.
Never would have thought Luka would leave.
Bro, when I first saw that trade, I was like, this for sure.
I thought I got Centel.
Sure, like 100%. I was like nothing in my mind like thought it was serious. I was like, yeah, this is obviously troll.
I had to check like 5 sources.
I kept seeing it, and I'm like, wow. And then you see, and like, when I first saw it, I was like, this might not work. And then you think about JJ Redick. First of all, JJ, I know you as a Lakers fan, you are happy about that because it's been years of struggling coaches.
Yeah.
But then they finally get JJ Redick, and I've always had tremendous respect because he has a podcast. Even before Mind the Game, with LeBron, he had a podcast. I think it was like JJ and the Three, and it was just like, you could tell he's basketball knowledge. You pair him with another basketball wizard. Everybody thinks I'm a hater on LeBron. I am like to an extent. I just don't think he's as good as people say. But I'm obviously like not like he's clearly a great player, and I think he's a superhuman brain. Like his IQ, and it's to a point where he's been playing in the league for 20 years now. So like he's seen everything for 20 years. He's just so much smarter than me, so much more experienced than these players. And you add now Luka, who is like the future of that, because Luka's another high IQ player. I just think it's so much intelligence between like those three. And it's honestly interesting because that kind of just like, we were talking about all these teams in the West, and now you just add another team. And so like you said, the whole going back to the KD thing, bro. Like they could put together a trade package.
They got all those picks. I mean,
all those picks.
Send them away.
And bro,
they can push right now. If you don't win this year, I feel like it would be a great idea to send those picks away.
For sure, they have all the pieces. Like they could afford to give away somebody like Jalen Williams and still have Lou Dort, like all the other talent.
Chet, Ihart,
yes, man.
Caruso.
Sheesh.
It's an influx of talent on that team, and I mean they stack picks to where they're not really going to fall off unless the injury bug kills them.
Bro, it's an influx of talent in the league, man, and it's just an interesting period because I'm not sure if you were, but everybody was saying like the NBA ratings were down and like people weren't watching the NBA, and it was just like all of a sudden like the trade deadline. I think this was the craziest trade deadline ever. Like I'm so bummed that we're not watching De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama right now. Like that would just have added to all this madness. You even have teams like obviously this year they're nothing, but like don't sleep on a team like New Orleans. Like Zion at 265 is an MVP player, so I think
fully healthy Zion could be one of the top 5
and
players.
They have talent like Trey Murphy is hooping now. They have Brandon he's at the Raptors now, but who do they got somebody for him, and
I'm not sure who they got for him.
DeJounte Murray's gonna get healthy again. Like there is talent in the league, and you just look at a team like Houston, man, who's just loaded with just young, bro. It's honest. Like I think it's one of the greatest times in the NBA, bro. I really do. I really do. Just because, like, and it's not as polished as it once was. It's fundamental because it's a bunch of young stars. Like our generation is now getting into the NBA, where it was AAU ball and things like that. But like once you get over the fact that it's not as pretty as like talent, like skill, like these players are doing crazy things. We have a 7'4", 7'5" player
bringing the ball up, doing one-legged threes, behind the back combo moves. I mean, the game's just changing,
dude. And like it gets to a point. Like think about like somebody like Domantas Sabonis not being an all-star.
It's crazy.
30 years ago, like dude, he'd be having triple doubles himself.
Yeah. Another interesting thing I want to point out is just I'm using influx a lot, but the influx of talent that's not from America. You've seen that all throughout the NBA now. A lot of the top players in the league arguably 4 of the top 5 players are not from America. Giannis, Shea, Jokic, Wemby. At the best, he could be a top 5 player.
Embiid, all the recent MVPs, like it's crazy, and they're thinking about doing a World versus America All-Star game.
I think that would garner a lot of attention.
About time though. That's my whole thing. Like they kept cause did you watch this All-Star game?
Hit or miss. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of all this formatting with the All-Star game.
Like they went way too much this year, but
the target score, like I don't like that.
But yeah, dude, and obviously like with Nikola Jokic, and we didn't even mention Luka. Like
Luka, that's bro.
Yes, bro. All the talent is. I be telling people all the time. I get a lot of hate for it, but I said if I was like a GM or a manager, I would seriously have at least 5 Europeans on my team, bro, or 5 international players, I should say at least. Just because I think the ball is so different. Like if you really pay attention to how they play ball, like I remember being a Hawks fan. You remember Gallinari, Danilo Gallinari, like. He wouldn't. It was just so different. He would do fadeaways and like all their finger rolls are just different. I think because they play professional so much earlier, and just like I was looking at something like they have like did you see the highlight of Luka, 14-year-old Luka? He's dunking and stuff, bro. They're playing on low goals. So I think it's just an interesting dynamic of basketball that I think people should look more into because they're coming to America and dominating. Like Jokic just had 30, 20, 20. Giannis is a freak. We know Embiid was averaging more points than minutes. Like they're coming to America and dominate. So I'm very glad you brought that up. And do you think it just gets more from here? But because like at the same time, there's also a lot of homegrown talent. Like you look at this class, Ace Bailey and Cooper Flag, same class. Like that, those are 2 players that are
Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe.
Like it's huge. In America, and the next class is another one with AJ. He's a tough player.
Bruisers.
Yup. So like I'm saying, bro, I think basketball is just getting to a point where everybody's going to be just uber talented. We've lost the whole position thing too. Like. Yeah. If you're a center, it's no longer good enough to just be a rebounder for real. Like, if you want to be something, so you got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to dribble. And it's just a crazy dynamic, man.
One thing I also want to point out, too, is I was watching. I'm a big Duke fan, college basketball. So I was watching the Duke UNC game the other day. And Coach Shire, he switches everything. And that's one thing that I think is very important and should be kind of emphasized more for teams is being able to guard all these positions, because once you get to the NBA, like you said, all these players are going to be able to do the same moves. Yeah. So you got to be able to switch and guard and change the defenses, because it's not like how it used to be to where you got mostly the guards and the forwards taking care of the ball and the bigs hanging out down low and doing all the dirty work.
Yeah, man.
They're coming out. It's getting five extended wide. You gotta elevate your game now. So being able to play defense at that level too is very important going into the next level in the NBA for young guys.
Oh, for sure, man. Well, like I said, I'm honestly optimistic. Give me your final or 2 conference final positions. What do you think will be the matchups in like the Eastern Conference Final and the Western Conference Final this year?
I think for the Eastern Conference Finals it is going to be the Cavaliers versus the Celtics.
Okay. I
say that because the Cavaliers have been dominant all regular season, and I don't see that fading out in the playoffs in those first 2 rounds. Maybe in the conference finals, but I definitely think they get there. And then I think the Celtics as well, because they've played together for 3-4 years now with the same core. So I just think the familiarity is kind of like how the Warriors were when they were on their dynasty run. Just a familiarity with the team and being able to fight through adversity in crunch time situations. For the West, I think it is going to be the Lakers versus the Thunder. Thunder.
Interesting. So, yeah, I want to get back to the East. I could definitely see Cavs versus Celtics. Like, that's for sure a possibility. Like, but I'm actually going a different route. I'm going to say Celtics versus Milwaukee Bucks. I love the Kuzma edition.
Yeah, I do too.
I love the Kuzma edition. He can score. He's 6'9", bro. Like, so anytime there's a mismatch, he's getting a bucket because he used to score a lot for Washington. He's got defense now. I like the Bucks. And Giannis is obviously different. Dame is a great scorer. So,
to throw in right there what you just said about Kuzma, I think him getting traded from Washington to Milwaukee just kind of resurrected him and just brought himself into a new light.
Because people forget, like, he had a huge role for the Lakers in their championship, man.
Yeah.
Like, he hit some big shots. He made some big plays. He was a consistent shooter for them. So he's kind of used to this. I think he likes to be, like, the third guy. I don't think he, like, wanted to be the main guy. I mean, it was obviously not he got a chance to get some shots up and score a lot of points. But I think this is his role. I like the Bucks, bro. And for the West, like, I've given the Lakers a lot of credit. But at the end of the day, they're 13-2 versus the Nuggets in the last 15 games. So I think the Nuggets versus Thunder are gonna be in the West. But
I can see that happen too. The West is very toss up to me,
dude. And we only said like a certain amount of teams, but there are so many teams competing. So many teams you can see. So West is honestly, it's gonna be interesting. But I mean, we talked a lot of basketball. One thing before we start to wrap it up and everything. But one thing that I just want to hear your opinion on is I think that playing basketball is one of the best like training things you could do for football, man. When you really look at like the cardio, you look at the footwork, you look at the like having to raise up around the rim, like so many tight ends. It's a crazy thing. Like the tight end from Penn State was it Tyler Warren. Mm-hmm. He would catch a pass. He caught one pass. And immediately I was like, he had to play basketball. Yeah. He went and lobbed up or got him, and I'm like, he had to play basketball. Sure enough, you look it up. Dalton Kincaid is another one. Y'all know I love the Buffalo Bills. Mm-hmm. He caught a pass. It looked very similar to Keon Coleman. Yeah. You know, he was a Michigan State hooper. And it's like,
played in college.
Yes. Like, it just looks like you throw a 50-50 ball, it literally looks like jump balls to them. And I kind of want to hit, like, could you see the resemblance? Like, I think, and just the endurance aspect too, like you get tired hooping. Your cardiovascular health is definitely into it. So people always ask me, why was I playing basketball so much? I really do think it had to do, like it really does help to the sport and translate. And it's something that people just pay attention more. I just wanted that to be on record. I want people to pay attention to it more.
Yeah, 100%. I think playing basketball definitely helps you with football. And just overall health. I mean, you're running constantly. You can't just sit back and cherry pick or you get your ass sent to the bench.
Seriously.
So you got to put the effort in and run, and that running and just builds up a stamina that is unmatched than going out on the treadmill and stuff like that. Because other than just running up and down the court, you're cutting, you're jumping.
You have to think while doing it.
You got to think. There's so many aspects that go into it that I think can only help you in football or any other physical activity that you want. One thing that I do want to say that I personally like to do that helps with conditioning is swimming and doing laps and focusing on not taking as many breaths when swimming when doing like freestyle or something like that, because it really just helps you build the lung capacity to be able to outstand long drives on the field and being able to maintain and not die out pretty quick. So I think that is very important as well as basketball conditioning, running up and down.
Yeah, man, that's a great point. And swimming is something I wanted to get into. I wish I got into it earlier, but now I'm at the point where I barely know how to swim, man. So I've been trying to teach myself and everything. But yeah, swimming is definitely something I want to get into. But yeah, we're honestly at the point. This has been a great podcast. We talked about a good bit of things, and I'm really just gonna open up the floor for anything that you want to say. Any questions? Any final remarks?
I'm just happy to be here. Just going to keep grinding for me. I got graduated this year, so looking forward to next year with next football season and just continuing the path to eternal happiness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love it, man. Well, if you made it this far, I truly do appreciate it. Zach is a longtime friend, so I hope you enjoy the content and all the things that we shared. We're about to go enjoy this Hawks win, hopefully. And as always, y'all be good, be blessed. Peace.
Peace out.